I've been trying to record my truth for about a month now. I picked up the camera, pushed record, started, and tears fall. Like, first time I picked it up was because I was actually excited to share news, so my tears weren't, tears of pain, but tears of joy. But I became so overwhelmed with the happiness, I could not do the video, and got a phone call while I was doing the video. So it kind of threw me off, and kind of glad now in hindsight, because maybe about a week later, the happy news wasn't so goddamn happy. Pre-ejaculatory happiness was off or not. A week after that, or same, well, nonetheless, there's just been one bloody bad emotion after another. And it has culminated into folks not being respectful of my feelings. Even though I'm very mindful of others' feelings and recognize that sometimes the things that I do are not normal and it may hurt. And so while I'm doing my self-care and checking my feelings before I misappropriate my anger in the wrong fashion, I am now busy tending to your wounds and your feelings. Sorry. I have a lot of people in my life, friend, associate, enemy, whatever you want to call yourself, that truly don't be listening to me. And I don't mean as far as advice or, like me. Because I make it very plain and clear, at least for the last 5 years, maybe 6. I would go as far as to say for the last 6 years, I've been doing a lot of growing. And so I've had to check myself. And in that, I have shared with people, this is what it's fitting to be. You might not like it, but if you want me to stay sane, this is what I need to do to maintain some sanity and not, again, disappropriate my anger. People don't listen. And if they are listening, they haven't been paying attention, because if I say I'm going to disappear off the face of the earth to get my mind right, you may take it personally, and you should not. And I don't understand why people take silence personally. It boggles my mind how silence is viewed as a bad thing. It's just, the silence isn't really for you. And a lot of you fail to realize that. How you deal and cope with your work, your inner work, it's how you deal with it. Will and Jada had said when the whole shit had went down, and they were talking about how their marriage had lasted as long as they did, and there were times when there was divorce into play, and Will had to allow Jada to, and vice versa, for them to become friends again. They had to allow them to go through whatever journey that they were going through, and they managed to do it together because they started listening to each other. They recognize the toxic energy that was being given. And so Jada cried for 40 days straight, Will said. And wasn't nothing he could do about it. Because that was some shit she had to work on. Did it hurt his feelings? Did it make him feel some type of way? Yes. But what he did to respect her is he stood there and he took it. As hurtful as it is, as painful as it was to watch, he sat there and he took it because he understands she needed to do it to get to the next level. That's all I'm asking my friends to do. That's all I'm asking hell, I'm even asking my enemies to do that. Because in the silence, I gained some clarity on how to deal with your monkey ass. Nobody thinks about that. Everybody thinks about their feelings in the moment, and that's all it should be. And again, I say, for the last 5 to 6 years, Nicole don't operate like that. Nicole is trying to break generational curses. Nicole does not want to keep making the same mistakes that she has been making for the 40 plus years she's been on the earth. At 35, I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. We got to grow because what we've been doing ain't working. And that bothers you. I don't need you to be a harbor for my feelings. And by that I mean I don't need the welcome wagon at the end of the pier. I really don't need a welcome wagon because I didn't go anywhere. I'm a fisherman. And like most fishermen, they go out. They out for a couple of hours. After they find what they need, they come the fuck back. Don't be no welcome wagon. I set out to do this. I did it. I'm back. And then you come and you reap the waters and you share. I'm not afforded those liberties. And so that's why the whole month for the last, I want to say it's going on 45 days now. I've been trying to pick up this goddamn truth. And it keeps escaping me because I am tired of fucking explaining when people ain't listening. And this is the first time I've been able to say it out loud and tears don't fall down my face. I am crying every day because people aren't listening. I'm not saying what I am speaking is right, but I know my feelings ain't wrong either. My truth hurts me. It shouldn't hurt you. But you're making it personal. You're making my truth affect you in a way where you question my loyalty. And that's where I have an issue. And that's why I stay silent. Because nobody's listening. So even if I was to explain it again for the 100th millionth time, you still wouldn't hear it. Because you haven't been paying attention for the last 5 or 6 years. And it's weird. It really is. Everything ain't always about you. That was one of the biggest lessons that my mother taught me when I was coming up. I mean, she got a lot of gems that I'd rather care not to repeat, but I mean, when it worked, it worked. And this was one of them. Everything ain't always about you. The greater good and all that shit. That's never taken into account when we're dealing with our friend circle or our romantic relationships in the healthy way. Healthily, we should be able to say, I need a moment. And it should not be frowned upon nor giving a limitation of. Because everybody's grief is different. Some people find out that their brother was shot. They grieve for the moment. Like legit, it'd be a moment. Like a 24-hour time span. They fall off the face of the earth. They go drink themselves to a bloody oblivion. They go scream into the air and bust shots and all of that shit. And it happens for 24 hours. That's their process. Then there are women who have been mourning and grieving their husbands for the last 20 years and they still haven't gotten over it. I'm not rushing you to get over your dead husband. Um, there are people who, the death of their child, I don't think that's anything you can ever really get over. I don't think the grieving process ever stops with that. But the outsider that you just told that you needed a moment just told you get over it. Fuck you. Fuck all you people that think like that, because that's not how life is. People are allowed to grieve how they are allowed to grieve. People are allowed to process how they are allowed to process. How dare you put a time limit on the process? Isn't that what the old adage say? Trust the process. Trust the process. Whatever the process might be and however it applies, it needs to be fucking respected. This is legit the first time I've been able to say this shit and tears don't fall off my face because I'm fucking mad. This is more than frustration. This isn't even, I wouldn't even call it anger. But for those who need a pen needle, that's what I have not one. There are a plethora of words that I can use, and you can insert it, and it will tell you what my feelings are because that's where I'm at. I'm beyond words at the moment, and I know that this truth is lasting a little longer than usual. But 2020 is wrapping up, and I'm about to wrap up too. Like, I'm going to stay quiet until the frustration of not feeling worthy enough to be waited on dissipates. I'm going to stay silent until I can fully articulate the level, depth of my hurt. I am going to stay quiet because I don't feel like I'm being respected. Sorry, it's too much to handle, and it's not. Again, I know my silence bothers you people. I don't give a fuck anymore because my pain does not give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about my pain. So I don't care that my silence bothers you. I do care about my pain and I do care to heal it with or without you. And that's my truth. It may not be yours before I start crying and getting even more mad and this turn into a 30-minute Nicole Lane shit session because that's how apparently everyone feels. And to that I say, suck my dick.